Hello, everyone. It's Jennifer, and thank you so much for joining me today. We are back, and we are back with the Star-Crossed Lovers Design Challenge Kit from Softflex Company. I have a video with the complete unboxing of all the materials and beads included in this design challenge kit. By the time this airs, this kit might not be available, but I will try to have the link in the description. If the link is not in the description below, that means it's already been sold out. But still, go check out softflexcompany.com, and here's why. They already have their next kit released for next month, and it is a double rainbow. So you do not want to miss out on that. All right, so what are we going to make today? We are going to make a bracelet because I need a bracelet. I have an event coming up and I need a bracelet and a pair of earrings. And so that's what we are going to make. What are we going to use? We're going to use some of the beads from the Jesse James Beads mix that came with the Design Challenge Kit, Star-Crossed Lovers. And this is a bead mix that is exclusively designed for Softflex Company. I still have so many other beads available too. And I have a couple of little bonus ideas that I want to share with you. And we'll wait until the end. So the first thing we're going to use is we are going to use some Pro Econoflex. This is in medium. This is gold color. This was included in the kit. Also, everything that I have here is included in the kit. The two ideas that I have off to the side here are using I am using some craft wire, not included in the kit, but I also wanted to share with you some other ideas. Okay, so here we go. Now, I like to work from the spool. Why do I like to work from the spool? Because I don't like wasting. And I'm never, even working from the spool, I'm not going to eliminate waste, but I will hopefully reduce the amount of waste that I have. So I'm going to work from the spool. I'm going to have the spool off to the side. I have my design idea over here, and these are the earrings we're going to make. We're going to make these earrings too. And I am using one of the stars, and I think the stars were actually from one of the little extra packs from Softflex. And so we're going to use a star. We're going to use these beads came from the bead mix, and we're going to use some crimping for some crimp tubes. All right, and the ear wires came in the kit. The lobster clasp that we're going to use is also included in the kit. So I am just going to start stringing along. And one thing that I just realized is that is a large hole right there. And so I am wondering if I want to have that on the end because it might actually go through my crimp there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab a couple of these very small beads to use on the end. Okay, I'm glad I thought of that now. Okay, and if I didn't think of it now and I started stringing, I could still just add them on the end. But we're going to use that, and we're going to go here, and then we'll see how large this is, because I might be able to take out a bead or two. And I am just stringing along, using some of the white, black, and red. I love these cube beads. Look at these barrel beads. So, so, so cute. Then the hearts. And some of these rounds. So adorable. And what I might do is I have those red beads up here to help with the placement of the rose. And I'm going to see if I can leave those out. Yes, I can leave those out. So I am basically just going to place those two beads on the ends rather than next to the rose. And you can change it. If you want to put yours next to the rose, you could put yours next to the rose. I'm going to give myself a little bit more wire here. There we go. And now I'm going to start going this way. A quick and easy little tutorial here. We're just doing some stringing just to give you an idea of what you can do with all of these scrumptious beads. All right. And we are just moving right along. So cute. Look at that. Love it. Then I want to make sure my heart is going in the same direction. Yep. Okay. And then I'm going to continue on. Continue on. I love all these colors, all the different shapes. We have rounds, we have cubes, we have barrels, we have rondelles. So many options here to choose from. Okay. Let's go. And this is what the bracelet is going to look like. Let me see how, I'm going to see how long this is, because I might need to take out. Oh, and look what I did. I did this different. You see that? So I probably have it just rearranged it differently on both sides. So that's what I like to do. Just take another second peek at that. And I am going to check out the size and I will be right back. Now we're ready to start closing things off and adding our hardware here. Now on one side, I am going to add the lobster clasp. And what you want to do is just always test out your lobster clasp, make sure it's functional. These from Softflex Company, I've never ever had an issue with them. And then we're going to have our crimp tube. And so sometimes I don't, this is for me, and so I don't mind if the lobster clasp starts to malfunction, I have to take it all apart. However, though, if you're selling this, you might want to take some extra measures, maybe adding a wire guardian and adding a jump ring. You can do that. I have never had any failures with my Softflex lobster clasp. Now, also too, with this beading wire, what I noticed right out of the gate was that it felt a little thinner than regular, like Extreme Flex or the regular Softflex. So I'm going to show you a little trick because I want to use my magical crimper so that I can get that gorgeous bead-like finish. So what I do is I go ahead and add that in. I want a little bit of movement there. Okay, so I have a little bit of movement. What I'm going to do is I have some scraps here, and I am going to grab a scrap of the beading wire. This is from when I made the earrings. And I'm just going to insert that third piece. Okay. And there's that third piece. You can see that coming through. And I did this when I first started using the magical crimper. And I started doing this just because it helped me with using the magical crimper and getting a good solid finish. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and squeeze down. There we have our four corners. And then now we're just going to continue turning and turning. Make sure that your crimp tube stays in the center. And when you feel no tension, then you know that you're good. And then do your tug test, and there, no problem. So now what I need to do is come in and trim off my ends. And trim off there, a little bit of scrap, and then I'm going to trim off this side. And when I trim off this side, I want to save it. And it looks like it came through there, so let's just pass it back through so I get a nice, good, clean cut. Okay, there we go. There. And again, just get right up next to that crimp bead or tube. And now I have a little bit so that I can do the other side. What I want to do is for this side, my loop is going to be my closure. So I'm going to trim. Okay, And I want my bracelet to be flowy, so I'm going to just do this here. I'm going to do that. And I want it to be flowy, so what I'm going to do is get to my loop size, desired size. Okay, there's a good size right there. And then what I'm going to do is, to give me a little bit of room to use my 2x2 crimp tube, or to use my magical crimper. First off, I don't want my wires crossing. And I want that to go through. Okay, then I'm going to hold on to all those wires, and then just to give me some room, I just open it up. Gives me a little bit of room there, because I do not want to crimp on top of my bead. Crimp down, I got my 4 corners, and then I start turning this around, making sure my crimp tube is inside. And again, you can use regular standard crimping pliers. You don't have to use the magical crimper. Okay, give it the tug test, and it is not going anywhere. Then I'm going to come in and now start trimming the ends. And I want to make sure I get that nice and close. Okay, give that a little bit of a trim. Then come on this side, and I do one at a time. And come in as close as I can. And give it another trim. I'm going to save those because I'm going to need one for that side, or for the earrings. And there we go. Oh my gosh, I love it. And there we have our first project. Oh, I'm so excited. I love all those colors, and I love having that pop of gold right in the middle there with that gorgeous rose. Stunning, stunning. All right, so now let's go ahead and make our pair of earrings. So here are the earrings. Yes, Jennifer forgot to hit record. So we're going to go ahead and make these again. I will take them apart. I take one of these apart, and I am going to just snip on one of the ends, because then I can save the wire a little bit more. Let's go like this. I'm so upset with myself for doing this. This has happened before, where I thought that I was recording. I was not recording. And yeah. All right. So let's do this again. I need to grab another crimp tube. Good thing is, if you make a mistake, look, there's more. So this is probably a happy accident. Happy accident. I think that's what Colleen says. She calls them, because I've mentioned making oopsies or whatever, and she's called them happy accidents. So I will call this a happy accident. So I'm not going to work directly from the spool. You can, but I am just going to take about 5 inches, and I'm going to have some waste, and I'm okay with having some waste on this, because then I can still save the little pieces. We're going to string on our star. The star came from the little extra packet of stuff. So that's where we got that from. Then the beads that we have here came from the bead mix. Okay, so I'm just going to add that there. And then we will scooch things along as we go along here. All right. So I am going to try and get that about the right, let's put this over here off to the side, and get that about to the length or the size that I want. These are going to be on 2 separate ears. So if someone's standing that close to you that they notice that they're different, they're standing too close to you. That is good old Kelly Sutton. All right, and then I'm going to add my crimp tube. Now, remember with the bracelet, we added a third strand of the beading wire to have your crimp tube work. Well, we don't have to in this one because we already have a third piece of wire, and we'll just add that through just like that. Now, this is where all the scooching is going to come in, and it's just a lot of playing around to get that right length. And again, you could pull from either strand, and let's see, need a little bit more scooched on there. Okay, and then that is, now we need to get our hole up on the top, and that is about here. Let's bring this out just a little bit more, and that's about good. All right, now you look at that and you think, oh man, I don't have a lot of room to play in there. Okay, you already know the length there, so just pull that down, because you could just pull that back up after you do your crimping. So we're going to add to the center and give that a squish. You give it a squish and you get your 4 corners pinched, but be sure to hold that in place because it's not completely secure until after you start moving your little crimp tube in a circular motion here, and still crimp and crimp and crimp. And I do this until I feel no tension, and I feel no tension now, and we have that beautiful bead-like finish. We're going to come in with our cutters, and again, I can come in really super close because I can scooch everything around after I get everything cut and trimmed. Come in with my cutter here and trim. There we go. We have some scraps. We are going to open up our air wire and add. Make sure it's all nice, and look how easy that was. Wasn't that easy? And if you want, if it's easier for you, you can always add another crimp tube down here at the bottom if you want. But I just dig it just like this. Isn't that cute? Okay, so there we have it. We have our earrings and we have our bracelet, and I will be blinged out for this event that I'm going to on February 7th, and I can't wait. So now you say, Jennifer, I think you said that there were some other projects. Yes, I did say there were other projects. Now this was using, both of these projects were using everything just from the kit. The beading wire, I didn't bring in anything extra. However, for these 2 little projects, I did bring in some other wire. Now, I wanted to do something with the little crown cap and have it just kind of dangling off the side. And so when you have it on, I've already tried it on, it sits up against your chest. And so then the little crown is just perfect. And it's just like this, just how you're seeing it here. Because gravity pulls it down, then it's up against your chest or your skin or your shirt. It's up against something solid, and it just forms perfectly and lands perfectly there. Now, what did I use? I used some vintage bronze. This is 20 gauge craft wire from Softlex Company. And then what I did was, I don't have the 22 gauge out here anymore. I must have already put it away. But I used some 22 gauge to make a knotted head pin. I made a second one, and this one here has the crown sitting on top, but I didn't add any extra beads because I didn't want any extra colors coming through. And so it just kind of sits in there, and I did a simple loop on both sides, and then I made the simple loop long and then brought in this extra component. So it doesn't hang off to the side, and that's okay. That's what I wanted. I just want it to kind of jingle around. On this one, I used a bald head pin, and as you can see, it's not the same exact color. So, but I wanted to give you options just in case you don't know how to make the knotted head pins, or you're not comfortable making knotted head pins, or if you don't have head pins and you need to make a knotted head pin, you can see how both of those work. And I'm probably going to add some silver silk and to finish these necklaces off. And I'll be sure to get those posted as well. So far, everything from the kit, I made necklace and a pair of earrings. Okay. Then I have those 2 pendants here. I still have these beads. I have an S-clasp. I have some connectors. I still have these beads here. And I still have some more Jesse James beads mix and crimp tubes. So give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it. Comment. I love to see what everybody has to say. Don't forget to go check out Softflex Company. Go grab the double rainbow design challenge kit. We will be revealing that one in February. So I can't believe it's already February. And subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.